My dear brothers and sisters, I am greatly happy and rejoicing this evening. Our Hyderabad Hayes has Ave Maria International School at Ramantapur is blessed today. God is so mighty and wonderful, and He does marvels to the people who search, who seek for Him. Today, you are seeing a building which is built in honor of our Blessed Virgin Mary, in a special way to impart education for our boys and girls of our archdiocese and also other denominations and other social sectors. I know we all believe it is the grace of God, is a wonderful marvel that God has done with His mighty hands. And we, especially the Hayes, though we are taking pride for having blessed all of us with this prestigious institution, of course, for our welfare and the welfare of the others, but in some simple and humble way, we bow down to the mighty God for His blessings and for making use of all our priests and other people who are involved in it. We thank the Lord, and in thanksgiving we offer this Holy Eucharist. The Proverbs, the today's first reading, it is an exhortation to the believer to treasure up the commandments that God has given to us, telling the devotee to keep his ear attentive to the wisdom and inclining his heart to understanding. It helps us to understand the treasure of wisdom that we all need to have. May this institution help us for the righteousness and justice. The righteousness, it is not that man-made, but always as a seeker of true wisdom in God, who is our Creator. We are supposed to understand with our heart and with the knowledge that keeps our soul a pleasant one. And secondly, it is here for the justice and equity. These are the four things that we get to understand in the first reading of today. That's why when we see into the school, a particular school will have a uniform which defines that there is no higher and lower, rich and poor, black and white. So this is not the intention of God. All of us are created in His image and likeness, and therefore we are called the children of God. And all our philosophy and Upanishads, they speak to us. భిన్నత్వములో ఏకత్వం అన్నటువంటిది విజ్ఞానమును సంపాదించినటువంటి మనిషి గమనించి దాని ప్రకారము జీవించవలసినటువంటి అవసరత ఈ సమాజంలో మనకు ఉంది. ఆ బాధ్యతను మనము గొప్పగా స్వీకరించి దాని ప్రకారము జీవించుటకు ప్రయత్నించాలన్నదే దేవుడు ఈరోజు మనకు సూచించుచున్నటువంటి ఒక గొప్ప సత్యం. Secondly, my dear brothers and sisters, the reading, the 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 1 to 7. We know that there are people who are highly learned, highly qualified, highly skilled. But one sad thing is that they lack love. ప్రేమ లేని వాణి అయినచో, ప్రేమ లేని వాడినైనచో వ్యర్థుడను ప్రభు అన్నటువంటిది మనకు తెలిసినదే. కాబట్టి when all the skills and all the knowledge and all the talents you are blessed, but when you forget the aspect of love, when you lose the spirit of loving one another, love towards neighbor, love towards society, love towards the values, love towards the periphery, as Pope Francis is always telling us, then it will be like a symbol that makes lots of noise. ఏమీ లేని ఇస్తర ఎగిరిగిరి పడుతుందట. If you miss this truth, my dear brothers and sisters, then we are empty. Though I have all possessions, but do not have love, I am nothing. And especially for the people, those who are working in the institutions, the character of love, which should be patience, love, kindness, which should not be boastful and arrogant or rude. This will be a failure and a tragedy in our life if we miss this truth, my dear brothers and sisters. Therefore, let us be the people who really have the love in our life as we proceed as a human beings to live in the society, as we proceed the learners in the institutions, as we proceed to be the responsible persons of in our institutions. I know, and we all are here because the great God, the mighty one, has done wonders for us through the instrument of His, using our knowledge, our think tank, and all the talents, the time, energy. All these things are the results of this Ave Maria International School. And it should be an institution which really proclaims the values of the gospel: love, mercy, forgiveness, and charity. And also, it should, as we entered through the main gate, we have seen the beautifully they have painted, which is a classical work. So which means that we have to take note of our society. We cannot ignore the society and the values of the society. Himsa, ahimsa, ధర్మము, సత్యము అనేటువంటి ఈ నైతిక విలువలను కూడా పాటించవలసినటువంటి అవసరత ఈ యొక్క సంస్థకు ఉంది. దీనిని నడుపుచున్నటువంటి అధికారులుగా వ్యవహరిస్తున్నటువంటి మనము, విద్యను బోధించే ఉపాధ్యాయుని, ఉపాధ్యాయుడు, తల్లిదండ్రులు వీటికి దోహదపడుతూ దాని ప్రకారం జీవించవలసినటువంటి అవసరం ఎంతైనా ఉంది ప్రియమైన సహోదరి సహోదరులారా. And a great model for us, that is the Blessed Virgin Mary. The Gospel of Luke, when the angel of the Lord comes to Mary and tells that you are going to bear a son, which is who is the King of Kings, the Redeemer, the suffering servant, the one who has to undergo all that shame and all that is not expected of him. And that is the sign of Mother Mary, showing that she is the woman who has chosen by God for the salvation of many. And as we keep or honor the Blessed Virgin Mary, honoring her in the name that we have chosen for this institute, she should be a model of simplicity, model of humility. We know the quotation or పెద్దలు చెప్పే సూక్తులు మనకు సామెత, విద్య వసగు వినయము. Any learning, my dear brothers and sisters, should help us to be humble, not to be the persons with arrogant and rude character. Whether it is the administration, whether it is teacher, the parents, and the one who is obtaining the knowledge should seek the true wisdom, which is nothing but always living in simplicity and humility. It's a beautiful day indeed for all of us. Let us examine our conscience and see whether we trust in the mighty works of our loving God, whether we try to be the people endowed or filled with the Spirit and with His promptings to look for righteousness, to look for justice and charity, to look for the equality. And like Mother Mary, let us always strive to be humble, following her great example. As the last day of this October month, we are venerating the Blessed Virgin Mary. So let us seek her intercessions for our institution, for the management, for the teaching and non-teaching staff and the supporting staff, the parents and children, that through her powerful intercession we may attain the blessings of the Lord in 100-fold. Amen.